You've probably called it a coincidence, a weird feeling, bad timing, or random luck, but what if some of those moments weren't random at all? What if the repeated thought you can't shake, the door that keeps closing, the person who keeps showing up in your life, what if those aren't accidents, but invitations? Today we're looking at 6 signs that God might be trying to get your attention and why psychology actually backs up why we so often miss these moments completely. Here's something psychology and faith actually agree on. Our brains are wired to filter out most of what happens around us. It's called selective attention. Out of thousands of signals every day, your brain only lets a tiny fraction through to your conscious awareness, usually whatever feels urgent, threatening, or familiar. The problem is, quiet, gentle, signals a nudge, a subtle feeling, a small repeated pattern rarely make it past that filter. We're simply too busy, too distracted, or too used to explaining things away. Scripture actually describes God's voice this way too. In 1 Kings 19, God doesn't speak to Elijah through the earthquake, the wind, or the fire, the dramatic, attention-grabbing moments. God speaks in what's often translated as a still, small voice, or a gentle whisper easy to miss if you're not paying attention. So let's slow down and look at 6 signs you might be missing. 1. A specific thought or verse keeps resurfacing, unprompted. Not a passing idea, a recurring one, showing up in different settings, almost like it's following you. Psychologically, repetition is how our minds signal importance. Spiritually, it may be an invitation to pay closer attention. 2. A door keeps closing, no matter how hard you push. Repeated, unexplained resistance in one direction can be frustrating, but it's also worth pausing to ask what you might be being redirected away from and toward. 3. You feel an unexplainable peace about a decision that doesn't make logical sense. Not impulsiveness, a settled, quiet certainty that doesn't match the anxiety the decision should logically produce. That mismatch is worth noticing. 4. The same person, message, or theme keeps appearing from unrelated sources. A conversation, a sermon, a stranger's comment, a song all pointing at the same idea within days of each other. One instance is chance. A pattern is worth attention. 5. You feel a pull towards something that scares you but also feels right. Growth and calling often feel like this simultaneously, not reckless excitement, but a grounded sense of rightness underneath the fear. 6. You experience a moment of stillness that feels like more than just calm. A sudden quiet in your mind, a wave of peace that doesn't match your circumstances. Many describe this as one of the clearest, if hardest to explain, signs of being met in a moment. Scripture is full of these quiet, easy-to-miss moments. Samuel, as a boy, hears his name called at night and assumes it's Eli 3 times before he even considers it might be God. It takes Eli's guidance for Samuel to recognize what's happening. Even a soon-to-be prophet needed help discerning the signal from the noise. Elijah, as mentioned, finds God not in dramatic natural forces, but in a gentle whisper after them, implying that if we're only looking for the loud, obvious moments, we may walk right past the quieter ones meant just as much for us. And throughout the Psalms, David repeatedly asks God to help him be still and to open his ears, suggesting that recognizing these moments isn't automatic. It's a practiced posture of attention, not a passive one. If any of these 6 signs resonated, here's how to build that attention intentionally. 1. Keep a simple log, jot down repeated thoughts, verses, or patterns you notice, even briefly. Patterns are easier to see written down than remembered. 2. Build small moments of stillness into your day. Even 2 quiet minutes can help you notice what you'd otherwise miss in the noise. 3. Talk it through with someone you trust, like Samuel needed Eli. An outside perspective can help you discern signals from static. 4. Hold it loosely, not anxiously. This isn't about hunting for hidden messages everywhere. It's about staying open, not obsessive. Maybe nothing you noticed this week was random after all. If this made you want to pay closer attention, subscribe every week. We explore one mind and one scripture at a time. Let's grow together.